We all love a good deal. The thrill of snagging a bargain, of getting something for less than it's worth, is a universal pleasure. But what if that bargain comes at a cost? What if the price we pay isn't measured in dollars and cents, but in something far more valuable? Our freedom. In 2013, at the bustling California-Mexico border, one man's pursuit of a steal turned into a costly mistake. He attempted to outsmart customs officials, believing he could slip through the cracks of the system and pocket a small fortune. Little did he know his actions would trigger a chain of events that would shatter his life. This is the story of a $1 million customs cheat, a stark reminder that shortcuts often lead to dead ends. It's a cautionary tale about the real cost of deception, one that goes far beyond monetary fines and penetrates the very core of our lives. This is a story we all need to hear. The California sun beat down on the border crossing, casting long shadows on the asphalt, creating an almost surreal atmosphere. Cars snaked through the lanes, each driver eager to reach their destination, unaware of the drama unfolding around them. Among them, an unsuspecting individual was about to become the central figure in a high-stakes game of cat and mouse, a game he thought he could win. He had meticulously crafted his plan, believing he'd found a foolproof way to cheat the system, a system he thought he knew inside out. His vehicle was packed, not with vacation souvenirs or everyday goods, but with contraband carefully concealed from prying eyes, hidden in every nook and cranny. He held in his hand documents, forged and phony, designed to mislead and deceive, crafted with precision to avoid detection. This was his ticket to easy money, or so he thought, a golden opportunity that seemed too good to pass up. As he approached the checkpoint, a wave of confidence washed over him, a feeling of invincibility that had carried him through before. He had done this before, slipping through the cracks with ease, always one step ahead of the authorities. But this time something felt different, an unsettling feeling gnawing at the back of his mind. The air crackled with tension, and the usually routine questions from the customs officer seemed sharper, more probing, as if they knew something was amiss. His heart pounded in his chest, a drumbeat of fear against his ribs, each thump echoing his growing anxiety. His carefully constructed facade began to crumble under the weight of scrutiny, the cracks becoming more apparent with each passing second. The officer, a seasoned veteran with an eye for deception, noticed inconsistencies in the paperwork, discrepancies that couldn't be ignored. His suspicions aroused, he initiated a more thorough inspection. The game was on, and the stakes had never been higher. The discovery was swift and undeniable. Hidden beneath layers of seemingly innocuous cargo lay the truth, a treasure trove of smuggled goods, their value exceeding $1 million. The man's carefully constructed world of deceit came crashing down around him, the weight of his actions hitting him like a ton of bricks. Gone was the bravado, the illusion of outsmarting the system. In its place, stark terror. The consequences of his actions, once a distant thought, were now staring him in the face with chilling clarity. The legal machinery, once an abstract concept, roared to life. He was arrested, charged, and thrust into a world of courtrooms and lawyers, facing charges that carried hefty fines and the potential for years behind bars. The $1 million he had hoped to gain paled in comparison to the price he was about to pay. A price exacted not just in dollars but in the currency of freedom, reputation, and the trust he had so carelessly thrown away. Customs fraud, a shadowy underworld operating beneath the veneer of legitimate trade, takes on many forms, each more cunning and deceptive than the last. It's a global issue, costing governments billions of dollars annually and fueling organized crime, which in turn destabilizes economies and undermines public trust. From undervaluation and misclassification of goods, to outright smuggling and the use of counterfeit documents, the tactics employed are as varied as the goods themselves, making detection a constant challenge. One common tactic is undervaluation, a method that can significantly reduce the amount of duty owed. Importers, eager to reduce their customs duties, might declare a shipment's value as significantly lower than its actual worth, thereby saving substantial amounts of money. This could involve manipulating invoices, misrepresenting the quality or quantity of goods, or exploiting loopholes in tariff classifications, all to deceive customs authorities. Another common method is misclassification, a tactic that can be just as effective. By falsely categorizing goods under a tariff line with lower duties, importers can shave off significant costs, often going unnoticed for long periods. This tactic is particularly prevalent in industries with complex tariff structures, where even slight discrepancies in classification can result in substantial financial gains, making it a lucrative option for fraudsters. The use of counterfeit documents such as forged certificates of origin or falsified invoices is another tool in the arsenal of customs cheats, further complicating the work of customs officials. These documents are designed to mislead authorities about the origin, value, or nature of goods, allowing smugglers to evade import restrictions or pay lower duties, thus perpetuating the cycle of fraud. In today's digital age, customs fraud has also infiltrated our phone lines, becoming a widespread issue that affects countless individuals. Scammers, posing as customs officials, prey on unsuspecting individuals, exploiting their fear and lack of knowledge to steal money and personal information. These criminals are highly skilled at manipulating emotions. These phone scams often follow a similar pattern, making them recognizable if you know what to look for. The scammer, claiming to be a Customs and Border Protection officer, informs the victim that a package addressed to them has been intercepted. This is where the deception begins. This package, they allege, contains illegal or restricted items, drugs, counterfeit goods, or even large sums of undeclared money. Panic sets in as the victim tries to comprehend the situation. The scammer, exploiting this fear, offers a solution, a fine or fee to clear the package and avoid further legal trouble. They make it sound like the only way out. They might even threaten arrest or other dire consequences if the victim doesn't comply, adding to the pressure and urgency. Pressured and afraid, many fall prey to this tactic, divulging personal information or wiring money directly to the scammer. The consequences can be devastating. Remember, CBP never solicits money over the phone. This is a crucial fact to keep in mind. If you receive such a call, hang up immediately and report it to the Federal Trade Commission. Protect yourself and others by spreading awareness. The consequences of customs fraud extend far beyond individual cases. It undermines the integrity of global trade, creates an uneven playing field for legitimate businesses, and deprives governments of vital revenue needed for essential services. For businesses, engaging in customs fraud can be disastrous. The penalties, both financial and legal, are severe. Companies found guilty of customs violations face hefty fines, seizure of goods, and even the loss of their import and export privileges. The reputational damage can be irreparable, eroding trust with customers, suppliers, and financial institutions. Beyond the immediate financial repercussions, customs fraud breeds corruption, erodes public trust, and undermines the rule of law. It creates an environment where criminal networks thrive, exploiting loopholes and weak links in the system for their own gain. Compliance with customs regulations is not just a legal obligation, it is a fundamental pillar of ethical business practices and fair trade. Combating customs fraud requires a multifaceted approach, involving law enforcement agencies, customs authorities, international organizations, and the private sector. But it also requires something more fundamental: vigilance. We, as individuals, have a crucial role to play in safeguarding the integrity of our borders and protecting ourselves from scams. By being observant, asking questions, and reporting suspicious activities, we can make a difference. If you encounter a situation that seems too good to be true, it probably is. Don't be afraid to ask questions, verify information, and seek clarification. If you suspect fraudulent activity, report it to the appropriate authorities immediately. Remember, customs fraud thrives in the shadows. By shining a light on suspicious behavior, we can help disrupt these illicit networks and protect ourselves and our communities. The 2013 incident at the California-Mexico border serves as a stark reminder of the high stakes involved in customs fraud. It highlights the allure of easy money, the devastating consequences of deception, and the importance of individual responsibility. We live in an interconnected world where goods and people flow across borders with increasing ease. This interconnectedness brings immense benefits, but also vulnerabilities. Protecting the integrity of our borders, our economies, and ourselves requires a collective effort. By understanding the tactics employed in customs fraud, recognizing the signs of scams, and reporting suspicious activities, we can contribute to a safer and more secure world. It is a shared responsibility, one that demands vigilance, integrity, and a commitment to upholding the rule of law. In an era of increasing globalization and digital connectivity, Staying informed about customs regulations and potential scams has never been more critical. By arming ourselves with knowledge, we can protect ourselves, our businesses, and our communities from the far-reaching consequences of customs fraud. Remember, knowledge is power. By staying informed about common customs scams, recognizing red flags, and reporting suspicious activities, we can help create a safer and more secure world for everyone. Let's work together to build a future where integrity, transparency, and the rule of law prevail. The fight against customs fraud is a marathon, not a sprint. It requires constant vigilance, collaboration, and a commitment to upholding the principles of fair trade and ethical conduct. Together, we can make a difference.